Cruise news time. Well, 4 major cruise companies are on the hook for $400 million. A federal judge saying that they have to pay up for cruises to Cuba. Also, we have cruise ships rescuing folks from the ocean. And well, Carnival, they've done what everybody else has done. They're jacking up the prices. Guess on what? Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face. And it's still January the 4th here. I'm still in the Tasman Sea, making my way to New Zealand. Except this time it's 8:49 p.m. 8:49 p.m. on the 4th of January. And I'm assuming it's midday on the 4th. I'm Tony from the future. This still blows my mind. I am on the Holland America Line, MS Noordam, and I'm on a press trip, which means they paid for the cruise. How about that? Enjoying some Holland America things. I'll tell you about one thing later on in the show. That's a tease so that you'll stick around. But first, let's process through some cruise news. Cruise news story number 1. These stories are a little complicated today, so I'm probably going to reference my phone. There has been a judgment issued by a U.S. district judge awarding a U.S. company that has interest in Cuba. They've awarded them over $400 million, charging 4 different cruise companies $100 million each. Now, here's the deal. In the 1950s, there was a revolution in Cuba where the Castros took over Cuba, Fidel Castro, and they seized personal property of people that lived in Cuba. Of course, during that revolution, many people left Cuba. And some of those folks that left Cuba, they started a company called the Havana Docks Corporation, and they are essentially the rightful owners of the docks that are in Cuba that was seized during the revolution. You may remember during the Obama administration, travel opened back up to Cuba and several cruise lines went to Cuba. My very second cruise was a cruise to Havana, and well, the Havana Docks Corporation sued under the Helms-Burton Act, saying that it was not right for the cruise companies to go to Havana and profit off of the docks there that were seized from these private citizens. And look, that's just the simple version of it. I'm sure it's a lot deeper than that. But a federal judge agreed with the plaintiffs in the suit, the Havana Dock Corporation, and the suit named 4 cruise companies that they felt had been in violation. Those cruise companies: Royal Caribbean, Carnival Corporation, Norwegian Cruise Line Holding, and MSC Cruises. And what's wild is the federal judge ruled on this case all the way back in March of 2022, and just as the year ended in 22, that's when this judgment came about. And the judgment for over $400 million, $440 million to be exact. Each of the cruise companies on the hook for around $109 million. Now, it's almost a certainty that all the cruise companies will appeal this ruling. 2 companies have already come out and said they will for sure: Royal Caribbean, Carnival. We haven't heard from Norwegian Cruise Line yet. We haven't heard from MSC yet. It's an interesting thing because essentially the argument from the cruise company side is that the U.S. State Department said that it was okay to travel to Cuba under certain circumstances, and they've followed those circumstances that were laid out for them, but now they're in trouble. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. That's a pretty big judgment, especially if, these are billion-dollar companies, but still in a time where there's already financial crisis, having to pay a fine essentially of $100 million, not something any corporation, any large company wants to do. It'll be interesting as we continue to track along. Cruise news story number 2, a story about people taking to the sea to try to get to the United States and being rescued at sea by cruise ships. This time we have the Carnival Celebration saving individuals, and we also have the Celebrity Beyond saving individuals. Celebrity Beyond is, of course, helmed by Captain Kate McHugh. She was able to position the Beyond to rescue 19 people, able to provide food, shelter, medical services for people that were basically on a makeshift raft. And then the Carnival Celebration was able to rescue 5 individuals on a floating vessel about 29 miles northwest of Cuba. It is a maritime law for sailors, for seafarers, that if you see a ship in distress, you have to provide aid, but certainly it's the humanitarian thing to do anyways, and that's what these cruise ships do. They do contact the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard takes over what happens to the folks, and most of the time it is a return to their home country. Another couple positive stories of cruise ships going into action to save people in distress at sea. Way to go, Carnival Celebration and the Celebrity Beyond. Now I got to tell you about Carnival Cruise Line's latest price increase that is not sitting too well with a lot of people. But let me tell you a little bit about what I've been doing on the MS Noordam. Of course, we're here in the Tasman Sea. What I'm finding is this might be one of the roughest patches of sea anywhere. I talked to you guys, I don't know, 12 hours ago, and we were rocking and rolling. We've been rocking and rolling for at least 18 hours. I know we're getting close to New Zealand. Everything's supposed to calm down. We're supposed to go into the Milford Sound tomorrow morning. I'm looking forward to that. This has been quite the journey. You got the bags out everywhere for people that are getting seasick. I talked to the room steward. He said there's a lot of people up and down the hallway that are just kind of doing their best to get over some seasickness. So it's something to consider if you're doing this cruise from Australia to New Zealand, that there could be some choppy waters. Make sure you bring your bow 9. But let me just give you a highlight. First impressions of Holland America. This is an older, smaller ship. The very first night on the cruise, we did go to a presentation that chronicled the history of Holland America Line. It is super fascinating. The role that Holland America Line played in immigration to the United States. Millions and millions of people traveled on a Holland America Line from Europe to the United States as immigrants. It was really fascinating. It's really kind of piqued my interest to get deeper in that and share that conversation with you guys at another time. And then everybody said you're going to love the food on Holland America. It's dang good. I just want to say that. It had the main dining room on the first night. It really was some of the best main dining room food I'd had. Service was great. The food was great. And then last night we went to the Pinnacle Grill, which is a specialty dining restaurant. There was a kind of a group meeting for the press trip. We were able to eat at the Pinnacle Grill. It was good. I tell you what, though, the main dining room I think was as good. I had this clothesline bacon that everybody recommended. I didn't necessarily love the dish. I don't know. It was super chewy. It was almost like bacon jerky. I don't know if that's what they were going for. It's like a sweet bacon jerky. I was hoping it not to be so chewy. I also had the David Burke recommendation of the filet with the lobster dumplings. That was also good. I think the star of the meal for me, though, was this take on Baked Alaska. It was Baked Alaska, but instead of having like the Neapolitan ice cream on the inside, which a traditional Baked Alaska does, well, it had Ben & Jerry's Cherry Garcia, which is actually my favorite Ben & Jerry's flavor. And then there was like Cherry's Jubilee on the side. Of course, they give you a portion that's bigger than your head, and so I didn't eat the whole portion, but it was a very delicious dessert and an interesting take. That's been a dessert highlight. And the other thing that I've started to dip into on this cruise is I've started to experience some of the different music that they have on board. It's pretty fascinating, the whole music walk concept, that you can just go down this promenade and get bombarded with different forms of music. I'm enjoying that so far also. But again, it's only my second or third day on the cruise ship. There's still a lot to explore. I will be sharing more with you guys about my first trip here on Holland America Line, but I just want to give you a little tease and talk about the food. And yeah, it's pretty good. I do need to tell you about these Carnival price increases, but before I do that, I would like to invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising. Should I change it up for the New Year's? Cruising. I don't know. We got to keep it the way it is. Please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Don't miss out. Be in the know. Thank you in advance. All right. Everybody's doing it, and I guess because everybody's doing it, we have to do it too. Carnival sending out an email to its loyal customers that there is going to be a price increase in 2 categories. Price increase in gratuities, assigned gratuities, and price increase in the Wi-Fi, the internet. Let me pull up the email so I give you the correct deets. Here we go. The internet prices effective with embarkation January the 16th, 2023. The social package, $12.75 per day. The value package, $17 per day. And the premium package, $18.70 per day. the challenge with the internet, so what's cool here on Holland America Line is and other lines, is they offer a multi-device package. So I paid $319 for the length of this cruise for 4 devices. And that's plenty. I can use my phone, I can use my laptop. On Carnival, you just get one device, so you have to switch it out. I don't like that system, but of course they're going up on the price. This is an increase from $10.20 a day for the social, $14.45 per day for the value, and $17 per day for the premium. So going up $1.70 per day on one, $2.55 on the middle package, and it's going up $2.55 on the social package, on the slowest package. So, yeah, what is it? Another $14, less than $20 on some of it for a 7-day cruise. Do we care? Is it a big deal? Yeah, it's another price increase. I'll talk about it more, but let me tell you about the gratuities. The gratuity price is going up. They are going up to the standard staterooms, going up to $16 per guest per day, and for suites going up $18 per guest per day. This is up $1.50 for the suites, and it is also up $1.50 for the regular standard stateroom. So 7 days, it's another $10, $12 for your cruise. So it's going to cost you $20 more for internet. It's going to cost you another $10 to $15 for your gratuities. And really, in the scheme of things, I guess that's not a lot of money, but it is part and parcel. It is indicative of where we're at in cruising right now. You have cruise companies that are under a mound of massive debt. You've got the downturn of the economy. You've got inflation. You've got pricing going up. So I don't think any of us should be shocked to see these price increases. As consumers, we're bummed out. We want the most for the least amount of money possible. As the cruise companies, they want to give us the least for the most amount of money possible. That's where the whole rub comes from. That's where we go looking for competitive advantage and those kind of things. Not shocking at all, and I anticipate that we'll see more price increases along the way. Everybody's doing it, so it's are you going to be mad at Carnival for raising prices when everybody else is raising prices? I think not. What do you think about all of this? Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for checking out the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. You can show your support by hitting the like button. YouTube says you should check this video out next. It's going to be a banger, I promise. This is Tony for Lido Loca, still in the Tasman Sea, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.